Hi, it's Constant Angler. Talk to you today about Senkos I use for wrasse. I do use them for perch fishing as well, but these are mainly the ones I use for wrasse fishing. You could use any of these for perch or bass or whatever you like. What size do I use for wrasse? Well, as you can see in front of me, I've got a variety of sizes ranging from 3 inches. I'm talking fishing for ball and wrasse here. If I catch any of the other species, it's a bonus. So I wouldn't go any lower than 3 inches, and I would go up to 5 inches, as you can see with this one here. But my mainstay for most of my wrasse fishing are lures that are 3.5 inch, as in this pink laminate one, or 4 inch, as in this sort of earthworm coloured one. So yeah, 3 inches, smaller fish around. Might be getting lots of bites from smaller fish, so I can go to smaller hooks and catch some of them on a hard day. 4 inches is my standard. 5 inches I'll be using for big fish. So my 4 inch Senkos, I'm generally putting on size 1 to size 1.0 hooks. These I'm putting on about a size 2 hook. Don't want to go much smaller than that because I need the strength in case they look a good one. And my 5 inch Senkos, anything between 2.0 and 3.0. And I'm obviously using these for bigger fish. One thing I do like to do is, if you notice with some of these 5 inch Senkos, they're got a bit of a thicker profile, and sometimes I've noticed that beauty with these is I get 2 baits out of those. I can bite them off. You might have seen in my tricky January wrasse video. I can bite through them, make a bait whatever size I want. There's a nice little chunky little smaller bait, and that seemed to work on that particular day. Was something about that size. I do like the thicker profile sometimes, but you're going to have to make sure you use a hook that's got enough gape on it when they bite down to get it in their mouths. I either use EWG hooks or weedless worm hooks. I'll put links in the description for you. So my favourites, well, generally, as you can see in front of you, I got some, just had an order the last week or so. I buy AGM stick worms. So that's AGM discount online. I find they're 4 inch worms, as it says here. These are the fluoro reds, and these are the June bugs. Are just the right size, the right sort of profile for the baits I want for wrasse. Some of my most favourite Senko this year was this laminate Senko. So it's called laminate because it's 2 colours, it's white and pink, or solid pink even, by the same manufacturer. Now I source these from AliExpress, but I'm unable to source them anymore. So any pink lure, if you look here, that's the Gary Yamamoto 3 inch. They're beautiful worms, but they don't last as long as these from AGM, or as in this case, these were water snipe off AliExpress. So if you can find them and get them, and do so, let me know as well, because I'd like some more. Other favourites I have are obviously Gary Yamamoto's. I can't say that today for some reason. They're fantastic Senkos, the original Senkos. They're limp, they provide plenty of action and vibration. Can't get a better Senko than that. But as I say, they're expensive and they're difficult to source in this country, so we do go with the AGM Senkos on most of us. As you can see, they're quite limp as well. They seem to last a little bit longer than the Gary Yamamoto's though. Other Senkos I like are made by Z-Man. So these are floating lures, particularly good for your perch, but the wrasse love them as well. This is the big TRD. It's 4 inches long and it's in a colour called the Deal, so that's a laminate, and I'm liking the look of that, and extra little nobules and things on it for extra vibration. Very good lures, can't go wrong with Z-Man. They're more expensive, but I'm just going to show you, they are 10 times tougher, so wrasse can't chew them apart. They do present some problems, but the things we can get around. We'll do a little video on that shortly. Here's another one by Z-Man. Oh, sorry, not the camera then. So this is a Z-Man Sinker Z. I haven't been able to source these very easily of late either. Everyone seems to want TRDs, but these were the original ones I was using. And this one is in watermelon and white, another laminate. I like the laminates. Great lures. So yeah, if you can afford Z-Man, buy Z-Man. They're good, but you get far more of these for your money. Z-Man's going to cost you, I don't know, somewhere between £7 and £10. These are going to cost you what, £3.50, £3? I'm not sure exactly. Have a look on check out their website and you'll see. But yeah, very good, do the job. So colour, you can see I've got a variety of colours there. Traditionally, we go with darker colours. So if I pull a few out for you, that's a June bug coloured lure. It's a blue lure, dark blue lure with green flecks in it. Green pumpkin, which is a dark green colour. This one has black flecks in it. They do come with all different sorts of flecks in them. Have a look at a smaller one here. Watermelon, you can see it's slightly lighter than the green pumpkin. Your browns, your greens, your blacks even. Yeah, dull colours that kind of match the sort of prey, and this is a sort of earthworm colour. Got another one in the 5 inches there. That match the colour of the sort of the food they're finding. So I suppose a sort of shrimpy-ish colour there as well with black flecks in it. So stick to your green pumpkins, your watermelons, your June bugs, your browns and your shrimpy colours. Occasionally shad sort of colours. If you can get, I've got them in other lures but I can't find them in Senko colour, a sort of black or grey back with a sort of silvery white underside, that's what I call a shad colour. They work a treat as well. Other colours, my favourite colour at the moment is the pink and the white. Caught countless wrasse on that in the last 12 months. The sparkly sort of yellow colour here, I think it was a clear colour to start off with, but it's leached somehow. And then we're looking at fluoro reds. These things work, they annoy the wrasse sometimes. Wrasse will take them if you move. It's a lot to do with the action sometimes more than the colour, but colour can make a huge difference, as I've noticed with these years, this year anyway. There are other things, as I've mentioned before, laminate colours. This is one of my favourite by AGM. Favourite winter baits, seems to work in winter. The contrast, the brightness of the chartreuse with the watermelon back there. And another little thing, some come with chartreuse tips or fluoro tips on them. They're all good things to attract the wrasse, as long as they're not biting just the tip or biting the head of the lure, it's all good. These things do make a difference some days. And we've already mentioned the sort of earthworm colour. You get rolled colours, I call it, where there's a couple of colours in one, they're sort of rolled into each other. Great lure that lovely colour, done well on that in the past. There's a sort of emerald colour. This is an emerald laminate colour. Yeah, you could just experiment, but if you stick to the darker colours and maybe go with pink, if you can get hold of some pink lures, Senkos, then that's what I would recommend. So say we had to pick 3-4 colours: June bug, green pumpkin, watermelon and pink, I would start off with, and black if you can find it. So we mentioned Z-Man lures a minute. You can get other lures that float. When would I use floating lures is a question I was asked. Now most of these lures sink here. You've got to be buying Z-Man lures for them to float. There are other companies, little companies such as FS Lures, I've noticed, do floating lures, and Rodney's Lures do floating lures. There's quite a few companies that are making them in their garages at the moment. Great little companies giving their support. But yeah, when would I use a floating lure like, say, this Z-Man Zinker Z, if I can get it out of the packet again? Well, I'd use these in the winter more. We don't want to be moving our baits as much in the winter. The wrasse are less inclined to move, and they're not chasing shads like they do when it's warmer, and they want to stay in their holes, and anything that comes along, maybe they'll come out and get it, but you really need to be shaking it in their face more. So with this Z-Man lure, it'll float, so it'll stand up on your Texas rig, or there are other rigs such as the chicken rig and things like that, Ned rigs, if you can fish them weedless. I'll do videos on that hopefully at some point. And you can make these lures stand up, and you can shake them in place longer. So you can, if you know where a wrasse is holding up, I have spots where I know there's a particular rock and wrasse hang around that, and I can throw this lure past that, drag it along and leave it there. What people don't realise is the current does a lot of work for you here. There'll be swell, there'll be current, there's always current of some description in the water, and that's always moving your baits as well. And sometimes not a lot of movement, you know, just this waggling in front of them, because it's doing that because of the tide or the swell or current. Sometimes you don't even need to move the lure yourself, and wrasse will have it. Or, as I do a lot of the time, I just try and shake them in place. And, you know, that's when I use a floating lure. Or if I think they're holding up above weed on the bottom, I could fish a Carolina rig with a length trace, so between the swivel, weight and hook, of the length of the weed that I'm expecting to come across. And then my lure is going to sit up above this weed, and that might be where the wrasse are. They might not be down on the deck like we normally find them, they might be up in the water. So days when you're not getting anything and you're thinking why, try these floating lures, try suspending a bait higher in the water column, or try just not moving it a lot. Maybe they don't want to chase anything and you're just dragging it away from them. The other thing you can try is increasing the length of your pauses so the wrasse get a better look at your lure. That's a great tip in the winter, whatever you're using, whether it be Senkos or crawls, whatever, trick worms. We'll do videos on those as well. So I hope that's been of some use for you. Just a short little video there. It doesn't seem to be as short as I expected, but not too long. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to tell you when I've made another one. And cheers.